Narwhals are nothing but lazy S's with echo lines. That's all they are. You really, and shading, and you really don't do anything else. So you're going to start at the tip. If a lazy S curves this way and then over here to the left, so we're going to go this way. And then we're going to start up here again, curling down. And you try to keep to your guide. It's not terribly important. You do 2 lazy S's with echo lines, and then the next one you do does not have an echo line. And then you always start back up here, so you do another lazy S with an echo line, and a second one. And then you're going to do one without. Now here's the trick with narwhals. You want to connect these up down here. Follow the same curve and then connect them to the one below. So it looks like a horn. Let's go ahead and erase our guidelines. There. So that looks like the start of a horn. And then we keep on going. 2 with echo lines, 1 without. Now what I like to do at the very end of it, I'll put one more, after I do the one lazy S without an echo line, I'll do one more with. And then I'm going to bring him down to make that shape. And the reason why, we're going to pretend like this narwhal horn has been cut off. And we need to put some echo lines around in here. It's kind of like the rings on a tree, to see how many growth periods this horn went through. Now my hands shake, so I'm not real steady. But this is organic art. It's free-flowing art. So it doesn't have to be totally perfect. And then we're going to go in here and erase the rest of our guidelines. And we need to shade. Now shading a narwhal is really easy. Let's see. There's a 4H pencil. I'm going to get this B. 2B. That's light enough. So here's what we're going to do. The light's still shining this way. So I want shade here inside this little C area right here. Just make a little C of shading. And then we're going to go up and out to the other side. Like this was shaded this way, this has got to be shaded out that way. And sometimes it's easier if you just go from the outside and then curve it in. And you can do this just making little circles of pencil, just so long as you can blend it out and you haven't done it too heavy. Okay. All right, now let's do some blending. This is the nice blending stump. I like this one. So we're first going to go, probably need to put a line in here just to make sure. Okay, so we're going to do the C's on the inside first. So you just kind of blend them out. And then you go to the other side with the larger stump to give yourself a wide shadow. Now, you don't have to do a wide shadow. You could do a narrower shadow, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now you see how that's coming to life? Just with a little bit of shading. It's all coming to life. See, now here I'm doing narrow on this outside shading. You don't have to press real hard with these stumps. You really don't. My hand's cramping up. Woe to me. I love to do art, but I can't work my hands anymore. Woe me. Okay, so there we have a narwhal. Which is comprised of only lazy S and shading and echo lines. Okay, so your narwhal is just a bunch of lazy S's with echo lines and shading. That's all you do. That is it. Now we're going to show you what to do with your C's. Now these are 3 things that I would like for you to practice. Narwhals are fun. With your C shapes, you can make an undulating with a C shape here. You can go C, C, C to make it look like a continuous loop-de-loop or curve. So what you can do with your C's, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want 3 loops. 1, there's a C, there's a C, there's a C, there's a C, and there's a C. Find where your C's break off. And that's where one curve begins and the other ends. And then you're going to do echo lines and break into that curve, break into that point, crisscross. And you do that twice. Crisscross at the point at the break. And the other side. And you do it till you have 3 lines. Now this one is going to be too hard for you to remember, but here's what you do. I want to do this one and this one, so I'm skipping this one. So I go follow this curve around. Now I need to do a whole S in here and up and down to be able to come back up and around there. You're kind of going to follow these. So this one goes down. Now this one right here curves up, so we're going to curve him up. This one here is going to come down, so we can curve back up there. And then you echo line those. Break where the circle, where the curve stops, just like before. And these can get kind of sloppy. They don't have to be perfect. Nature is never perfect. And that's the perfection of the creation of nature, is that it's never perfect. Always remember that. Nothing or anybody is supposed to be perfect. That's what this life is all about. Trying. Okay, so now we have to do one going straight down. So So we're going to curve this way, and we're going to do a real S in the center. And in here, you only do one line. Now here's where you might start to have to break some of your lines up. And it comes in over here, goes in over there. It's easier to do it on a bigger piece of paper. This pattern takes up a lot of room. Yeah, but you get the idea. I'm going to take it apart and bring it back up to here, and then here you would go in here, up and down. See, that's not a very good representation of that, but that's something that you can do with a C. Now let's look at our petals. This one's even hard for me unless I have a big piece of paper. Your petals go down, bump out, come down, and then you're going to go straight across, bump out, go straight. Thing about petals is you want there to be a kind of a straight pointy end on each side with the bump out. And then you're going to go out. And then you go fill in. Then you're going to put a stem, a little circle on it, put some little nodes where you're going to put leaves, just a little node, and then just kind of pull some lines. Doesn't matter. So that's what you do with your petals. Let me show you this on a bigger piece because it's really fun. Go to the back. So I've got 3 here and 2 on this side. Now I'm spacing this kind of far apart, but you want to get the bumps out in about the same place. Okay, so here we go. Cross, 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 meet up. Cross, 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 meet up. Cross, 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 and meet up. And you want to kind of cross always in the same place. Okay, now we're going to do this one and this one because we're going over here. 1, and we can go big here. See how I did a total S there? And we do the same thing here. Cross, 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 meet up. Cross, 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 meet up. Now sometimes I like to put 3 vertical lines in because then you really get a lot of little pinwheels in. This is kind of like a pinwheel. This one's not very good, but you get the idea. Now we need to do one straight up and down, and it needs to meet up in these, and we have 2 S curves in here. or 2 full C's. Here's a C. Here's a C. Here's a C. And here's a C. Cross, cross. Now here's where you might have to start bringing your pen up so you don't go over this one. You do want some things to lap under. Okay, one more here on the middle, up and down, cross, lift up, cross, lift up. Last, we need to do this point and this point going across, but with only one C curve in the middle. So we're going to follow this curve right here. And then we're going to go over and down. This guy can come up like that, and then follow it around down here. Up, over, up. See how this curves up and that curves this other way? This one curves this way and that one curves that way. That's how you know you're doing it right. Okay, so now we're going to have a lot of pin lifting on this. Here we're going to lift our pin and come down here. Lift our pin and come up here. And then lift our pin and join it. One more. Now these are kind of fun to shade too. I don't know what the real name of this is, but I call it pinwheels. And then lastly down this one, and then we're done with all of the pinwheel making. And shading and coloring pinwheels are fun. You kind of do have to think about it a little bit though. Okay. Yeah, there you go. What I like to do, what I think is a lot of fun, you're going to make a whole bunch of C curves in the one that is this line that's on the outside. See how this kind of looks like a little leaf? This actually looks like it's curled in, and this is shadowed, and this is up top for the light. So I'm going to do the one up top, and I'm going to put an even number of little C's in here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got that. To shade this, you're going to go, I think that's my H. Yes, I don't want my H. You're going to come up underneath this lip right here, underneath this one, and underneath this top one. Okay, let's get a small stump. I'm going to need an even smaller stump in here, because I want this line of shading to be pretty tight. I don't want it really spread too far, and the same with this up here. I don't want it spread too far out. I just want a little bit of shading. Now, coloring. You can use markers to color this. I would advise that you use the markers after you've done your shading, because a lot of times the right marker, if it's light enough, it's going to allow the shading to pop through. So let's do a light orange. Now this is my favorite thing to do about this, because it just looks cool. If you do an even number of C's, then you're going to be able to color the point on each end if you alternate. It'll work out so any alternating or every other, if you do an even number of C's, then you can have the color on each edge of the point. Okay, see how good that looks? See how cool? And it does look shaded, which is what I like. So, dear